Hello, OWL family. Welcome to the very first episode of Hoot and Holler, your go-to podcast where you get to know everything about Florida Atlantic University, student life, and how to make the most out of your college experience. My name's Amari. I'm the Student Experience Coordinator at New Student Transitions and Family Engagement, and I'm here with my amazing co-host.
Hi everyone, I'm Oriana Fernandez and I work alongside Amari in the Office of New Student Transitions and Family Engagement. We are super excited to kick off this podcast as a way to connect with you all, introduce you to our incredible orientation leaders, and just give you the inside scoop on everything happening behind the scenes in the orientation world.
That's right. This podcast is all about you, the students. Whether you're an incoming student, a transfer student, or a current student on campus, we've got you covered. Throughout this session, we're going to discuss from everything behind orientation and just tips for you for campus life. And we're here with our superstars featuring the 2025 orientation leaders.
And speaking of our orientation leaders, we wouldn't be able to do this podcast without our incredible mentor orientation leaders. These are the student leaders who help train and kind of guide our new orientation leader team. And they'll also be co-hosting this podcast with us. So let's meet them.
Hi, everyone. I'm Morgan. I'm a neuroscience major, also a sophomore. And I got into orientation because I had a great experience with my orientation leader and just wanted that experience as well.
Hey, everyone. My name's Cameron. I'm a senior majoring in exercise science and health promotion, and I got into orientation through my other involvements on campus, some of which were our Student Alumni Association.
Hey everyone, my name is Kyle. I am a junior studying computer science, also doing a minor in digital marketing. I got involved in orientation because I feel like I've had a really positive experience at Florida Atlantic, and I just wanted to make sure I welcome new students in and make sure they had a similar experience.
Okay, let's dive into a little bit of the orientation and leadership experience. So, how do you all support and guide the new OLs throughout their process?
I would say just giving them kind of giving them guidance to when they come and ask us questions, being as truthful and as honest with them as we possibly can be, and just when they have questions, being a shoulder to where we can help lead them and guide them.
Yeah, I think just add on to what Morgan said, it's just more so making sure I create a positive experience where they feel comfortable enough for me to guide them. So I always make sure I put that first. It's okay, I want to make sure that yes, you're learning how to guide your incoming students, but at the same time, I want to make sure you are in a place where you can come to me, other mentor orals, pro staff, so that you can get the job done and you can get your questions answered.
What's one piece of advice you wish someone had given you before your first orientation session?
I feel like this was said a lot, but it's a long day. It's a really long day. And you're doing so many different things. You're trying to fit so many activities into one day that you just got to make sure that, and so much things can happen. You have a schedule, but anything could happen on the day of. So you just have to be ready for anything. Be ready for a long day, but also be ready for anything.
And then for me, I kind of take it from playing sports for so long, but I would say have a short-term memory, because if there's a 30-second encounter that kind of messes up your day, you don't want to let that snowball into something bigger than it has to be.
Then I would also say just enjoying the time you have, because it's only for one summer. There's only so many orientation sessions. Just really enjoy where you are and the team that you have with you.
It goes by fast.
Yep. Okay, can you share a funny or unforgettable moment from an orientation session?
I have multiple. I just want to think about which one's probably the best.
Okay. Give me some time to think.
So, me and my best pal, Kyle, over here, we were, I was grateful enough to have him as one of my roommates for this summer. And it's very funny when we're rushing in the morning and we're screaming at one another to get out the shower, get out so we can make it to orientation on time. I'll never forget those days.
Or I'd say like before checking even starts, like the time like we get to just dance around or like listen to music and just kind of sit there with each other before the actual day begins is also really fun.
What time do you have to meet?
I think we met at like 7:30 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot to get done. And that one bathroom, cam on the door, can't wake up, but yeah.
What's your number one tip for incoming students to have a successful first year?
I feel like this gets said all the time, but like truly getting involved. Like it's no fun just sitting in your dorm, going home right after class. Like go out. Like there's a bunch of events during that first week when the semester starts. Just go out there, join a club, go to an event on campus. It's the best way to get involved.
For me, for incoming students, I would probably tell them like it's okay if they think something's quirky, or like if they have a hobby and they think it's weird. It's okay if they want to like let that hobby like grow into something more. It kind of goes with that involvement aspect. Like no one's too cool to just enjoy time with their friends. So
Yeah, I think the only thing I'd add on to that is that get involved, but like try not to overextend yourself and remember why you're here. Because ultimately you're here to get that degree, and you don't want your entire, whether it's 2-year, 4-year, 1-year experience to be like, oh yeah, I was in this club, that club, I had so much fun. You come out, your GPA is a 2. And yeah, I'd say just remember why you're here, but at the same time, don't stress yourself and don't overextend yourself.
What would you recommend for students like, well, I don't know how to get involved. Like, how do I get involved? And then maybe share like how you got involved in your activities and things like that around campus.
one of the best ways for students in both semesters would probably be our OWL involved, or we have a lot of different fairs that are home to all of our student organizations. And then even at our orientation, we showcase some of our student organizations, which is where I found my first love, our Student Alumni Association. Shameless plug, Student Alumni Association. So that's where I find my love, and it's just different things. And there's really something for everyone, no matter how niche an organization might be.
I got more involved as once I became an orientation leader. Like the people I met got me involved. So I definitely started with orientation. So that's always my recommendation.
Yeah, for me, I'd say obviously you have like all involved, but as Morgan said, it's also like the people you know. Because I got involved in my first student organization through a friend I made who was like, oh, let's go to this thing. So my main advice would be like, don't be afraid to talk to people. Like I always tell like my orientation students this, no one really cares here in the term of like, no one cares about what you're doing. Don't think that, as Cam said, you're being too quirky, you're being too weird. Like you're here to make the most of your time. So, don't hone in on, well, what if I do this and people don't like it? Or what if, it's weird, it's different. Like, no, just do what you want to do. Talk to people. If you and that person don't mesh well, talk to the next person. And then you guys can figure it out from there. Because that's how I did it. I had a friend and they were like, oh, let's go to this event. Let's go to that event. Before we knew it, we were joining this club, that club. And then, yeah.
I like that.
It sounds like just being yourself and just networking and connecting with people is what really honestly helps you get involved and get you out there on campus. Yeah, so super important. How did being an orientation leader help you develop skills that you can even use outside of your orientation role?
It definitely taught me to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. So like every orientation session is something new. Like there's going to be students who sometimes they're not going to want to participate, or they're going to be like, I want to go home. Like trying to figure out how to navigate that is something, because I came in here, didn't like talking to groups of people. Like, so coming in here and like learning how to deal with that and navigate your way around it throughout the day really helped me. And I can use it in my future career.
Yeah. It does make sense.
Kind of to build upon that, like, we're not just working with just the students, which sometimes people forget about. We're involved with the family aspect, and that's also a big jump for families to like send their children off to school. Sometimes it's across the country. And so we work with families, we work with staff members. So just working with so many different people definitely help, like, it helped me like learn how to change the way I talk to people, because how I approach a student might be different than how I approach a family member.
I think to add on to that, I think what it really taught me was like working as part of a team and how that can help you to be a better leader. So it was like, again, these days can be like a lot, long, whatever, but everything is like delegated. But again, things can go awry and someone has to step in for Cam, someone has to step in for me. And it's like, how do we navigate that together as a team? And I think that was like the entire experience of being an orientation leader. Was like, it's not just on you to make this day successful, it's also on your entire team. So yeah, I think that was my main takeaway.
What's one tradition or special moment that makes Florida Atlantic orientation unique? Like, what's one maybe activity? What's something you do like every orientation that's like a standout? Like, oh, I can't wait to do this, or the students are gonna have so much fun when they do this.
Well, it's funny you asked that.
Okay.
So, as mentor orientation leaders, we all have our own committee, and my committee, being activities and traditions, we kind of embody that question.
Mm-hmm.
And so, for every orientation, as an OL team, we try to energize, uplift the crowd with our welcome dance. One, to welcome them onto campus, and two, it's kind of like a fun way to interact with the audience and everyone. So, definitely the dance.
Also the dance.
Also the dance. Kyle, you too, the dance.
That, and like every semester you have like a different event, but like I know during the summer sessions we have like how to Florida Atlantic. And that's like a really fun experience because you get to bring all of your like parliament groups together and then do like a big fun activity. And then it's like really cool to see like all your groups together and they have to come together to do this one big thing. And yeah, I think that's one of my favorite traditions about orientation.
Cam mentioned that he was in charge of activities and traditions. For students that don't know, what does that mean? And do you all have a role of responsibility as a mentor orientation leader?
So we all do have committees. So I'm the chair of the training and recruitment committee, and basically just kind of goes over like the trainings that we do on Fridays for our OLs, just kind of getting them prepared for summer orientations.
Yeah, for me, I'm the chair of marketing and public relations. So I'm in charge of like all the social media stuff, getting our stuff out there to students. And yeah.
And then to build on the activities and traditions. So all of the parliament activities that we do in small group sessions, those would be facilitated and taught from my committee as well.
Nice. Okay, cool.
What's something about orientation that people don't realize happens behind the scenes?
I'd say running out of time. I think a lot of times, like people see that things are cut from the program, but I don't think they realize like how like even one person going like 10 minutes over can like affect the entire program. So I feel like a lot of times we're like, little part groups, I'm like, yeah, guys, we're going to go back to the auditorium in a second. And in reality, we're like, yeah, guys, actually the family presentation is going 20 minutes over. We're trying to get you guys back inside. But like, I'm sorry, they're still talking. Then we're all in the student union, like waiting around. But yeah, I think a lot of times they don't know what it's like. Not like a big us thing, but like, yeah.
So it keeps you on your toes.
It keeps you on your toes because they're like, all right, we got to make sure I'm done on time so I can get back to X place in time so my students can get back to certain place in set time. But then it's like, sometimes they don't even realize. Like we could be on the tours, we're having a jolly good time on the tour. I'm like, all right, guys. And because they have sometimes you have groups that ask like a lot of questions, and you're like, yeah, I'm there explaining everything. Made me explaining. I look at my Apple Watch. I'm getting a text. How? Where are you? You're supposed to be in the auditorium. I said, what am I? Interesting. My students are asking a question. I'm trying to, you're trying to like make sure they know everything. So yeah, I feel like a lot of times they don't realize that like the time is like actually limited to like go with the program, but like again, we make it work.
For me, I would say orientation leaders, like in general, how much work it goes into like getting us to where we can be like proficient and professionals, kind of in a sense of like everything. Because on an orientation day, a lot of our incoming students are going to see their orientation leaders are doing almost everything from check-in to small group activities to helping with the lunch lines. Like it's a whole lot of everything, and just getting them to that point, why we have to train all throughout the semester.
I would say like how long OLs are there for, because like when I was in orientation, I was like, oh, like this is from 9 o'clock to what 5:30. I'm like, this is so long. Like, but then being on this side of it, like we get there at 7:30 in the morning. We're there an hour and a half before like actual orientation starts, and then we're there an hour after orientation ends, answering questions or cleaning up, debriefing with the team. Like, there's just so many extra hours that like you don't see from a student's perspective.
That's true. How eye-opening. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Describe orientation in 3 words. If you can. Can you?
I'll do my best. I'm going to preference this by their like oxymorons. So I'm going to go with energizing, but tiring, and then fun.
I feel like that sums it up. I feel that.
You use a different 3 words?
Yours are okay.
Just okay.
If you had to compare being an orientation leader to a movie or a TV show, what would it be and why?
Do you have one? I think I have one.
What's yours?
I would say Saturday Night Live, just because no matter, we already have our orientation schedule, and on paper, everything's going to look the exact same, but come the day of, the show is going to be completely different. So every orientation's its own orientation, every training's its own training, and nothing's like another. So SNL.
I like that. Yeah.
Is that pretty good?
I think that's a good comparison.
Accurate.
Accurate. Okay, if you could relive one moment from your orientation leader experience, what would it be?
Can I say like so we go to Shro. We went to Shro last year. We went to, it was at UNC Chapel. No, UNC Charlotte.
Oh, and real quick, what is Shro?
So Shro is a Southern Regional Orientation Workshop. So a bunch of orientation leaders from different schools in the Southeast region come, and we kind of just do like activities. How can we make our programs better? How can we do PAR groups better? Different items like that, and kind of learn from different schools. So we went and we participate in a dance competition. So, which is like a side part of like where like the workshops also happen, and like getting prepared and getting ready to go on the stage. It's like our first time doing the dance in front of a crowd full of people. Like, it's so like nerve wracking, but also like, oh my God, like we're all so excited because we're finally showing what we've been working on for the past 2 months. So
That would be you would relive that?
Oh, 100%. That
Oh,
was
wow.
so much fun.
Would you guys agree you like the dance?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Maybe.
Did anyone forget? Did you forget, Cam?
No.
Got the dance on stage in front of millions of people? Did you?
Who'd forget? No, you got the wrong Cameron, not me.
Yeah, I say true.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
You know, they might disagree with me, but I would also say Shro, but the bus ride to Shro. Granted, it was like a 12-hour bus ride.
It's like 14.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. You were asleep for most of it. But like the bus ride, because that's when like at this point we're still like borderline strangers, but we're on the same team, and that when you're on a bus for that long with some people, that's when you really is like are bonded. So.
Mm-hmm.
So you say the bus ride. Did you guys enjoy the bus ride?
I was sleeping.
Okay.
Sleeping, but I don't want to sit for 14 hours.
Yeah.
I hear. Oh,
But it was worth it when we get there.
It's a good experience, though. You can bond with your fellow orientation leaders, really get to know each other.
mhm.
Yeah.
Is that how you guys became friends?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Kevin and I actually were roommates for that too.
Oh,
We
so
were roommates,
okay.
Yeah.
Yelling at each other in the morning, then too.
Something like that. I was in the bed. All I heard was "Call wake up." But yeah,
It was a time.
It was a time. Okay.
Oh man. What is one final message you'd like to share with future Florida Atlantic students?
Enjoy college. Like, this is the fun moments of your life. Like, before you become a real adult, like, enjoy your time.
I'm going to look into the camera when I say this one.
oh,
I know it sounds so cliche and so niche, but it's going to fly by. Like, as a senior, your college, like undergrad years, will fly by. As a student about to graduate, take every moment and like really savor and like cherish your time here.
yeah. For me, I'd say just come and have a good time. Like, again, remember where you're here. Study, do all that. But as Morgan said, like, this is college. You want to have a fun experience, but make sure it's safe. You do everything you need to do, and then like, there's a bunch of resources here. There's so much things to get involved in. So like, come do what you got to do, but like, get involved, have fun. Like, yeah.
Thank you guys.
Of course.
So we're talking.
What amazing guests. I'm blown away. Okay. So, we're so excited to bring you to this podcast, and here's what you, the audience, can expect in future episodes. We'll be chatting about topics like how to make connections, how to network, and FAU's best kept secrets and resources you need to know. Advice from experienced students on how to adjust to university life, like the mentor orientation leader shared today. And of course, some hilarious behind the scenes stories from orientation, from other orientation leaders that you all get to meet.
We're also going to be answering your questions. So if there's anything you want to know about Florida Atlantic, student life, college success, anything orientation, just DM us on Instagram at New Student Transitions, and we'll feature your questions in a future episode.
All right, it's time to wrap up. This was such a fun time. Shout out to you guys, the stars of the show. I'm starstruck, sorry. Thank you so much for tuning into our very first episode. We can't wait to go on this journey with you all. Be sure to subscribe, share this with your fellow Florida Atlantic students, and stay tuned for episode 2, which we will probably address the topic at a later date.
Until next time, go
Go
Owls.
Owls.